Sir Topham Hatt had called for a meeting at the SEDS.
Silence!
He called, and the engines listened.
Now, as you may know, the railway has been getting busier and busier. There have been more passengers, more freight, which means more work for you engines. So to solve this problem, I have purchased 2 steam engines to help out with the heavy workload.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Fantastic!
The engines cheered, and Sir Topham Hatt wept.
Finally, some help on the railway.
I know. My wheels ache so much I can barely go a yard without any pain. Hopefully I won't have to pull trucks as much as I have to now. I'm not suited for doing such work.
Well, maybe one of them is a mixed traffic engine. Then you'll have to pull as many goods trains.
The engines all did their work without fuss as they waited for the new engines to arrive. A few days later, Toby was pulling into the harbour with some stone trucks when he saw Cranky unloading something rather large.
That's strange. England isn't far from Sodor. Why would the engines have to take a ship?
Well, these engines aren't from Britain. They're from...
Ouch! Watch what you're doing with that arm of yours. That could have ended up really bad.
That doesn't sound like someone from Britain at all.
In fact, you're right. I'm from America. My name's David. What's yours?
My name is Toby.
Well, nice to meet you, Toby. Oh, where that silly crane hurried up. We have to see our new home.
A silly crane? Silly crane? You're lucky I even unloaded you off the boat. Ha! Yankees.
Oh, that's right, there are 2 engines.
Toby said as he watched the second engine being unloaded.
Well, what do you know? He finally got her off the boat. Jessica, say hi to this here, excuse me, but what kind of engine are you?
I'm a steam tram.
Great! Say hi to this here steam tram.
But the other engine didn't respond.
Ah, she must be just a little shy. Jessica, please just give Toby a tiny bit of politeness.
Hi there.
She said quietly.
Hello, Jessica. Well, I think I should show you to your sheds.
That'd be great. Come along now, little Jessica.
And the 3 engines puffed away to Tiffmouth. Soon the engines arrived at the SEDS, and the others were waiting for them.
Well then, this is one fine looking engine shed. Oh, and there's more engines. Howdy there. I'm David, and this is my friend Jessica.
There was a short silence. Then, the big engine started laughing.
Oh, you can't be serious. Why would Sir Topham Hatt bring Yankee tanks to the island?
Tank? I'm a tender engine.
No, but seriously, Gordon. I thought this was the island of Sodor, not the island of hillbillies.
And the big engines kept on laughing.
Hillbillies? Well, I say if that ain't the...
That's enough. Let's go, you 2. These 3 aren't worth your time.
And they puffed away.
Just keep an open mind. Not all the engines are like that.
But poor Jessica was very upset. She missed her home, and she felt like she didn't fit in with the other engines. She kept to herself. But David was very open with Toby, and the 2 got along very well. Soon they arrived at the big station.
Ah, perfect. Well done, Toby. I'm sure that he was a great help for you, too.
Yes, indeed, sir. He's a great engine.
Indeed. Now then, you must rest after your long journey here.
David and Jessica went to their shed. That night, Jessica spoke to David.
I don't think we fit in here.
What do you mean? I think we fit in fine. That Toby made us feel right at home.
I know, and I'm sure he's a great engine, but I want to feel important. I don't want to be known as the little shunting girl who don't got a clue on how to shunt. I want to make an impression on this railroad.
You might want to get used to saying railway, Jesse. One of them big engines might go on a tirade.
I guess.
Anyways, what do you mean when you say you want to make an impression?
Well, maybe I can pretend to be someone and I ain't.
You mean you're gonna go around telling lies to all the engines?
Exactly.
Well, I won't allow it. You can't go around telling lies. They're gonna catch up with you.
Okay, I guess. Good night.
And the two engines went to sleep. However, Jessica didn't take David's advice and decided to carry out her idea. The next day, the two of them were sent to different parts of the island. David to Duck's branch line, and Jessica to Thomas's branch line.
This will be perfect. No one knows who I am.
She said to herself. Soon she arrived at the yards. It was empty, but not for long, as Percy came bustling in.
Oh, hello there! You must be one of the new engines. I'm Percy.
Howdy there. I'm Jessica. I must say, it's one fine railroad. Railway.
Just then, the yard manager arrived.
Ah, then, you two. You must go to the harbor and collect some trucks. Then you must take them to the coal mine straight away.
The two engines soon set off. They struck up a conversation on the way there. This was when the rise began.
You know, I was given the annual title of Most Useful Engine on my old railway 3 times. Manager would say I was the image of the railway.
Very impressive. I wish Sir Topham Hatt would do something like that here. Then again, it's nice to not need to compete with other engines.
I suppose you have a point.
Anyways, what work did you do?
Well, I ran my own branch line, and I did it all by myself.
All by yourself? You must have never had time to yourself.
I didn't. I pulled all the passengers, freight, and did all the shunting work. It was quite the task, but I managed.
Well, I hope that Sir Topham Hatt sends you here to work here permanently. You seem like the most useful engine in the world.
I hope I do too. You seem like a fun engine to work with.
The two engines soon arrived at the harbour.
Well, Jessica, maybe you can demonstrate how you manage trucks.
Percy, I don't know if I can handle cars that ain't from my railway. I don't want to do something wrong and mess things up.
Well, I suppose it must be hard coming to a new railway. I'll shunt the trucks and we can double-head the train.
And Percy began shunting. He hated doing this work, as he wasn't a great shunter, and he knew very little about trucks. Jessica became nervous. She knew absolutely nothing about trucks or shunting.
I don't want Percy to see I'm a klutz.
But she said this to herself. She managed to take the trucks to the mines without any trouble. Then the two had to separate.
That Jessica sounds like a very accomplished engine. She won the Most Useful Engine Award 3 times on her old railway.
Most Useful Engine. Well, I'd have to say if Sir Topham Hatt was to hold an event like that here, I'm sure I'd win.
That's where you're wrong, Thomas. I would be the winner for sure.
And this is why I told her that it was a good idea to not hold an event like that here. You two would constantly bicker.
And the three engines laughed.
Also, Percy, Jessica actually talked? When I first met her, she said one word to me and nothing else.
Maybe she was tired. I'd be if I had to travel on a ship for all hours.
You do have a point, Percy. But if she was this impressive as an engine, why would she be so introverted?
I'm not sure. Maybe I'll ask her tomorrow. Another thing is that she said she was an expert when it comes to trucks, but when we had to shunt some, I had to do all the work while she sat there and watched.
Percy? I'm starting to think she's not who she says she is.
Well, she did say that it was because she wasn't sure how to handle these trucks. That could be true, but I'm not sure.
The next morning, the two met up again, and Jessica continued with the lies.
And there was this time we had to take the express train because the other engine had broke his coupling rods.
And you said it was pouring rain too?
You know it. Some of the rails were flooded. Yeah, I still struggled for hours to get the passengers home.
Percy was beginning to question Jessica, but he said nothing. Just then, Gordon, Henry and James passed by, yelling rude remarks.
Hello, little Percy. I see you've made friends with the hillbilly.
You best watch out, little Jessica. These trucks are very scary here.
If you think that you're going to sleep in Tim sheds, then I'm afraid you're mistaken, little Jessica. That's for important engines only.
And the three big engines cackled away, but two little engines felt hurt, but especially Jessica.
What's the matter? I thought you said you would stand up to big engines.
I know, but, oh, that's right. I must go pull a freight train. Can't let down some hat.
And she puffed quickly away.
What was all that about?
That was a lying engine whose lies came back to get her.
Percy didn't want to believe that Jessica was lying, but he could start to see through her. Later, he spoke to Thomas and Toby.
I'm really starting to doubt that Jessica is what she claims to be.
Well, honestly, Percy, it was a little obvious from the start.
I guess, but how can we be sure if she's lying or telling the truth?
I got it. We could ask David. Those two have known each other for years. If anyone would know, it would be him.
And as if by coincidence, there was David backing toward them.
Hey everyone, how y'all doing on this fine day?
We're doing all right, but we have a question to ask you.
Actually, quite a lot.
Well, lay it on me.
Okay then, do you know anything about the Most Useful Engine Award on your old railway?
What are you talking about?
And the three engines asked David everything about Jessica.
Well, if I could see her face right now. She says something about making up stories, but I told her not to, but she does it anyway.
We should pay her out.
Oh, we don't need to do that.
Yeah, we do, Percy. If that girl's gonna go around telling lies and disrespecting what I tell her, then she deserves payback.
Yes, but how?
Well, you know I told you she ain't got a clue how to handle cars.
Yes.
So tomorrow, when you and her work together, then you can make her take cars.
What a perfect idea!
The next afternoon, the two engines met at the yards, and they had to shunt trucks. Then they had to go to the quarry and collect stone trucks, and take them to the harbour.
You know, Jessica, I have the most awful pain in my boiler. Maybe I should rest and you take the train.
You sure about that, Percy? These cars look like trouble, and it'd be nice to have some help.
Well, I suppose... Ouch! That really hurt.
Yeah, right there?
Oh, I'll be fine. It's nothing. Oh dear. Ow.
Maybe I should take care of the cars while you rest up. You don't sound well at all. After all, I'm the expert when it comes to cars.
Then things started to go wrong. While Jessica was shunting the trucks into place, they started their tricks.
You're gonna be late! You're gonna be late!
No, I'm not. I have plenty of them.
No! 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 We go on that siding!
But I thought you had to be placed on the siding.
Don't worry. We know where to go. We're trying to help.
But they weren't helping, and Jessica was putting them in the wrong place. An hour passed by and she thought she was finished with something, when...
Jessica, what do you think you're doing?
Well, I'm finished shunting these cars. Now I'm going to pick up some more cars from the quarry and take them down to the harbor.
Oh, no, you're not. You did a horrible job arranging these trucks. You must go rearrange them right away before you go anywhere else.
Oh, but sir, then I'm going to be late.
No buts, Missy. Take responsibility for our actions and do the job right.
Jessica was cross and very embarrassed.
Oh, where did that Percy go? I don't care that his boiler breaks. I need him right away.
She looked all around the yard for Percy, but he had wisely disappeared. She carried on with her work until the trucks were tidily arranged. Then she set off for the quarry.
Everything's falling apart. Now we'll see him big fight.
She collected her trucks without much trouble, but she was still very nervous. She set off with her train of stone trucks. The trucks started playing tricks on her again.
Go on! Go on!
Y'all stop it back there. I'm expert with cars, you know. I think there's going to be trouble with her later.
Mavis said to her driver. Mavis was right. The trucks were up to no good.
Faster! Faster! You're going to be late!
I guess I best speed up. I don't want to be late.
And so she did. This was her mistake. The trucks moved smoothly at first, but then Jessica felt them push her down the hill.
Faster! Faster! Go on! Go on!
Y'all stop. I'll have to be aggressive.
The trucks paid no attention and forced her down the hill.
Help! Help! I can't stop!
But this lasted a short amount of time. A sharp bend appeared ahead. It was no use. Jessica was going too fast and flew off the line. So Topham Hatt soon heard the news.
I'll send Thomas, Percy, and Toby. This doesn't sound pleasant.
Soon the 3 engines arrived with the breakdown train.
I thought you knew how to handle all trucks, Jessica. What happened with that?
Well,
I thought you said you were accident-proof. If so, then what's with this?
well, yes,
We all know your secret. It would be best to tell us now.
Okay, I'll say it. I'm a big fake. I'm a liar. I'm nothing. I hate the most useful engine on the best shunter. The hero I made myself out to be. I'm just a simple shunting girl. don't even know how to properly shunt. I don't know anything about cars. I wanted to be someone else.
The engines all felt bad for Jessica.
Oh, don't cry, Jessica. We all feel like that sometimes.
Yes, indeed. I used to be stuck in the yards, shunting trains for the other engines, but I still persevered.
So did I. And I still don't know much about trucks. Goodness, no! You saw me struggling in the yards that one day.
Guess.
You don't have to be someone else. We'd like you for who you were just as much as if you were pretending to be someone else.
Really?
Of course we would. Also, we can teach you how to handle trucks too. You can probably tell they're a little difficult at times.
I could see that.
Maybe you will be a part of our branch line. I hope so. It would be fun to teach you the ways of Sodor.
Well then, you're in luck, Percy.
It was the Topham Hat.
What do you mean, sir?
I've been evaluating where little Jessica should work, and you seem to treat her very well.
So?
So, I've decided that it would be best for Jessica to join the Farquhar branch line.
The engines were very pleased. They all whistled and cheered.
Welcome to our branch line, Jessica.
Thank you, Toby. I'm sorry that I lied to all of you. I didn't mean to hurt any of you.
It's all right, Jessica. But there is one thing.
What's that?
You'd best get used to trucks. You'll be seeing a lot of them once you return from the works.
All the engines laughed. Jessica returned from the works a few weeks later, ready to deal with trucks and coaches alike. She is still very youthful and lacks much knowledge and wisdom, because that's the sort of engine she is. Jessica gets along fine with all the engines on her new branch line, especially Percy. They are both very similar engines, whether it comes to size, lack of wisdom, or trucks. Jessica is always most careful with trucks now, because she knows they're more trouble than they look.